Y'all know when you have a favorite pair of cleats or basketball sneakers that you've had for a really, really long time? Like back in 6th or 7th grade, I had this pair of Kyrie's and I wore them to like every single basketball practice. They fit me perfectly. They were my favorite sneakers. I loved them. But after a while, they started getting a little too tight because I was growing up, obviously. And I'm not gonna lie, I could feel that shit. My mama bought me a new pair of sneakers, these new KDs that came out. I think they was like blue and white or something. I was sitting there being kind of delusional, trying to pretend I didn't feel my old bowl sneakers squeezing the fuck out of my toes. I used to come back home from practice like, Mama, my feet hurt. And she would be like, why the fuck you got them little ass shoes on then? And I would be like, leave me alone. Yeah, that's the way some Arsenal fans was acting with Raya and Ramsdale last season. The level of delusion I was seeing about the two of them was actually absurd. Ramsdale made numerous mistakes in the home stretch of the 22-23 season that helped us fumble the title. I'm not sure how some Arsenal fans actually expected him to still be the clear number one after that disaster against Southampton. Forget about later when KDB had him doing the mannequin challenge at the Etihad on that first goal. Yeah, after signing Raya, there was like an uproar. It was so weird, and it lasted throughout the whole season, even after Raya settled in. Everybody was acting like it was some big betrayal. Like, no, bro, the guy was just wishy-washy and could not be relied on. He even had a couple chances last year to redeem himself, and he still shit the bed. It's funny because so far this season, Raya has been actually unbelievable shot-stopping wise, and the entire criticism about him being the number one over Ramsdale was that he wasn't as good of a shot stopper. Last season, and I wouldn't exactly fully argue with that. Early on, there was obvious nerves with Raya. I mean, that game at the Emirates against City, he looked like he was actually about to crap himself the entire first half. I couldn't believe how many mistakes he made. The Luton game was even worse. I'm glad we won both of those because the fan base would have been calling for his head. But it was clear that Raya was a better distributor than Ramsdale and much better at things like claiming crosses and decision-making in the box. Ramsdale also may have been a great shot stopper, but he wasn't always reliable, as many Arsenal fans remember. He even said in an interview that he had trouble staying focused for the entire game. If that's not a red flag, especially for a team that faces a lot of pressure during title races, I don't know what is. Imagine you win a big UCL knockout away game and this dude in goal thinking about the new episode of The Bear or something. The game that really cemented Raya was that game against Porto where he saved 2 penalties in the shootout. The criticism of him lessened after that, but there was still this general idea that his biggest weakness was shot stopping, and he heavily benefited from having the best defense in the world in front of him. I mean, if we pretend Zinchenko didn't exist last season, then sure, Arsenal did have a dream back line most of the year. Saliba and Gabriel in front of you. And then on top of that, you have Declan Rice, the best defender out of any top midfielder in the world right now. They were the only team in the Prem that faced less than 30 XG. The only one even close was City with like 35. Liverpool was third lowest with over 45. So it's pretty easy to see why nobody really cared about Raya's shot-stopping ability. The whole idea with Arsenal's defense was to stop shots in the first place. This season so far, the script has completely flipped. Almost each of Arsenal's 4 Prem games so far this year, there's been at least one moment so far where Raya has been forced to make an insane play to keep the other team off the board. The most notable was obviously the Ollie Watkins one, but even earlier than that this year, he was saving his back line for a change. A lot of that can be attributed to early season shakiness, along with the fact that Arsenal was defending with 10 men for half of the Brighton game and then didn't have Rice against Tottenham, so they are facing a lot more pressure than they usually would. Still though, Arsenal could literally be sitting on half the points they have right now without him. That brings us to today in the Champions League. Now, before we even get to Raya, I got a few things to get off my chest. I've been keeping it tame for the whole video so far, but give me like 2 minutes. If I have to watch Thomas Partey for another 90 minutes, I'm going to walk across the Atlantic Ocean and literally set myself on fire in front of the Emirates to permanently traumatize the entirety of Arsenal Football Club. He's actually cooked physically. This dude plays like he's saying, huh? What? Wait, what? He looks confused all the time. He's like 2 seconds late to everything. Bro, where the feds at? Come take his bum ass. He was top 5 midfielders in the world, literally like in 2021 and 2022. There was a stretch where he was in Rodri debates. This fall off is insane. The injuries are 100% starting to catch up to him. He's been getting absolutely plowed by them for multiple seasons now. Jesus is washed. Martinelli, I'm slowly losing hope, bro. I've been giving him the benefit of the doubt since like January, but bro, he couldn't hit a paralyzed polar bear if he had the gun pressed to his head. Thank God for Raya, bro. Who knows where this season would be without him? That double save was one of the best saves ever. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if that's an exaggeration. Lord knows I would have been in a bad mood till next week if we lost today, because The way we play today, ain't shit about to happen at the Etihad, bro. We not about to create nothing. Raya currently has the highest save rate in the Prem right after spending the whole summer being called a fraudulent Gold Glove winner. Arteta can beat his chest about that one. It gotta be one of his top 5 signings so far, probably after Rice and Odegaard. Maybe Gabriel too. Maybe. To be fair, Atalanta away was never going to be an easy game. They did dog Liverpool at Anfield last year and then beat the shit out of Leverkusen in the Europa final. But tough away games while we have injuries is absolutely going to be a thing come February and onwards. It always will. Come on now. We got to give Odegaard like 20 perks and horse tranquilizer so he can't feel his ankle. Because word to everything I love, he's going out there on Sunday. I don't give a single fuck. At the current moment, the only keeper in the world that's locked in as Raya is Courtois, and Arsenal should be very thankful.